Hello everybody, welcome back to Ball Street. Now the World Cup is fast approaching and there are a lot of teams involved in it, as you will know. So we needed to get some experts in, James Horncastle and David Preece, great journalists who know their stuff to talk about the World Cup. We're going to be doing World Cup previews for every single group. But before that, we want to kick off with the big question, the only question. Who will win the World Cup? James, I'm going to go to you first. Let's kick off with Germany, because obviously they won it last time. And they're the favourites. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. It's a major tournament that's being held in Europe, which I think traditionally helps the European sides. Germany also won the Confederations Cup last summer, although I would preface that by saying that has been a curse historically. Teams who've won the Confederations Cup have then usually gone on to lose. Also, that was a very different Germany side. It was their second string.
Yeah.
And if their second string can win a major tournament, I think it tells you a lot about the strength of this first team that they're sending out there.
There were 50 players who had a right to be in this Germany squad. It's so strong. Leroy Sané, we found out, is not going to be in the Germany squad. They are so strong. Is there a squad that pushes Germany at all?
I have to say it's the Brazil. I think people almost thought that Brazil got to where they are and won World Cups purely off talent, when of course it wasn't. They were innovators in tactics and they regressed, especially under Dunga. There's two periods they regressed massively. TT has brought that back and of course they've got the talent at disposal, but he's given them the structure as well to go forward. On
paper, you look at that squad and you go, wow. But there's a lot of injuries that we're not sure if they're going to be right. A few players who've missed out, Dani Alves. So Brazil, initially, I think I saw them as winning it for me. But I wonder if those injuries are going to play a part. One country that's been there, done it, won it, Spain. And people aren't really talking about them, are they?
Strikes me as a little bit odd that when people talk about contenders from Europe, the first two teams they mentioned are Germany and France. This Spain side seems to be back. They have got a manager who has had a lot of success with them at youth level, particularly winning the sort of under-21 European Championships. Has never lost a game with Spain as their youth team manager, never lost a game with them as their senior manager.
Wow.
And I was very impressed with them in qualifying. And I think one of the players that we have to look to who could be the star, it could be Isco, because Isco was fantastic in that game against Italy, and then that friendly in March against Argentina where they wiped the floor with them 6-1 at the Metropolitano. Isco with a hat-trick. You know, the question mark about this Spain team is at the centre forward position. They've got Costa, who we all know from the Premier League, is a fantastic player. Does he fit in this Spain team? We don't know. I think he's only played maybe 15, 16 games. The other guys are not the most capped. You know, Iago Aspas, who had a very good season in La Liga, top scoring Spaniard, and Rodrigo. They remind me a little bit of France in 2006, who reached the final and lost on penalties. Insofar as that, if you look at the kind of sequencing, win the World Cup in '98, they then have a disappointing tournament in 2002, just as Spain did in Brazil in 2014, and then come back and still have a nucleus, a core about it, which has won this tournament, but has some freshness as well and some new ideas from the manager Lopetegui. So, yeah, Spain are my pick.
Spain are your pick?
Spain are my pick.
Okay.
The biggest thing for me is that they've got the best defence in the tournament. Alba, Piqué, Ramos, Carvajal, David De Gea in goal. Best keeper in the world.
Bad, eh?
No, not exactly, yeah. And when we think of Spain, we think of the attacking flair, we think of Iniesta, but it's the defence.
I think that's a great point, because I think that with all of these teams, you go to the attacking players, you're impressed by those players, they stand out, of course they do. The final one, the kind of the Fab Four, I think, of the tournament in terms of the squads, France. Yeah. I think there are question marks still over their defence. Where do you see France at this moment in time? Because they've had a few odd results, but they've no doubt got mad talent.
From all of those sides, they're the one with the most promise. That's yet to be fulfilled. Yeah. You see, obviously, Paul Pogba's come back off in a different season. But you look further forward, you look at their the options. They can go. They've got lightning speed. They can go on the counter attack, or they've got Giroud who can play like a target man as well. And he's got a great record, 31 goals. You know, same as Zidane. That's not a bad record to have as well.
Who do you think is going to win?
I think it's Brazil.
Yeah.
I certainly think it's Brazil. I think they, like I said, with Tite's got them playing again. He just tweaked it. He hasn't made massive differences. He's brought Paulinho back in. He's given Jesus, confidence in him as a young player, and he's given him a structure. So he's got the right balance between sort of the attacking flair that they've got, but also the tactical side of it as well.
He came in, a couple of games into qualifying, they were down in 6th, and they then became the first team to book their place in Russia from any federation. And you look at what they've done since then. He's lined up prestige friendlies against Europe's elite, and they've handled themselves very well in those. They've played against teams that they know pose different problems, like teams that play with 5 at the back, part of the bus, with the intention of getting this Brazil team to be less fazed by teams that, let's say, play different to the ones that they had in South America. We saw Neymar come back in that friendly against Croatia.
Yeah.
That's quite an incredible goal. And we talked about depth earlier with Germany. With the exception of the right-back position, these guys have 2 quality players in every position. They've got fantastic variation in midfield. Whether they want players who can pick passes or players who can destroy, they've got it all. For me, I picked Spain, but I think we might even see a Brazil-Spain final.
Okay, I'm going to go for, last time, 2014, I was like, Spain are going to win it. And we saw what happened. And I wonder if that's the case with Germany. Is it going to be the same thing where they're kind of, is that same motivation there this time?
It's hard to repeat.
It's so hard to repeat. So I'm going to go for Spain as well. Outsiders, maybe Belgium, maybe Argentina. Let us know in the comments below, who do you think is going to win the World Cup? It's a simple question. What do you think? Let us know. Subscribe to Bull Street. Make sure you check out all the other group previews with James and David. We'll see you soon.